Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we are at the Niello Company in Sacramento, California. And Ted, some all-star leaders with us on the stage today.
Sarah, David Spisak is with us from Disruptive Growth Solutions and the David Spisak Show. Also, Tully Williams is hosting. David, thank you for joining us in Sacramento.
Pleasure. It's good to be back in Sacramento. This was, I just mentioned in the Niellos, this was the first place I came to live after getting out of the Navy, was right up the road in beautiful Cameron Park, California. Yeah, and I ended up spending time in Sacramento and then getting relegated to Yuba City, California. That's where I started my car career, actually, right here in Sacramento. And fast.
David, so amazing to hear the story of the Niellos, 105, 106 years in business, and the focus on people. Speak to us a little bit about that, because that seems to be where everything really begins.
Well, I feel about people in our dealerships. It is the alpha and the omega. It is our foundation, and it can't be about. Sometimes they go into stores and I see mission statements on the wall, and I respond to mission statements on the wall a little different than most people, because sometimes you put the mission statement out, it's more of a marketing narrative than it is something that's cultural in your DNA. And I oftentimes will go to the store and I'll look at that mission statement and then I'll look at what's going on and it's like right there, you could just read it. Like for the employees, just read that and do that. So, but when you look at great organizations like the Niello organization, it's not about a mission statement. It is in the DNA. It is in the cultural. It's multi-generational, and there is no erosion over time. It's extraordinary. I developed something called the elite standard, and when you achieve the elite standard doesn't leak. It doesn't degrade over time because it's something that's inherent. And what great leadership does, I think, Tully, and you live here in this, is great leadership manages to do an extraordinary job, Ted, of hiring the right people based not on experience. We do a bad job in this respect. We oftentimes hire people on experience, not based on potential, not based on what lies within them. And when you have great leadership who absolutely understands that they play a big role in training, developing, growing people, that's the only way that you could sustain a great culture. And my hat's off to the Niello organization for more than a century of having a spectacular culture in this community. They are the most iconic group in this entire area of the country.
I want to piggyback on that. I think that when you look at great people as we develop people, and some of the panels that you'll see today is that, technicians has always been a challenge, and as we develop those technicians, but think about all the support staff, all the managers, how do we develop those people? And that's when you look at some of the great careers. I'm going to pick on my good friend, Mrs. Toll. Started in fix, started as a cashier. She now is the boss at the Niello Company. I think that developing those people, having our general managers when they come up to the ranks and run that store, this respect that they get is awesome. When we look at our service managers that have been here 30 to 40 years, it shows you how they developed and they started at the bottom and raised to the top. That's what I really think that makes the Niello Company great. Is these great people have earned those positions and not just got hired for those positions. So I think you're spot on, Mike.
I think you said a couple things there that every dealer of the country should be taking note of. First of all, there in every dealership I'm in, there are leaders in the organization that are not managers. And there are managers that are not leaders. And you have to pay attention to that. Because I've seen stores to where we got people that are lot porters, support people in the business office, our warranty clerk, people all over, the shop foreman that have tremendous leadership. These are people that are trusted and respected by their peers. These are people that their peers go to when they say, what do I do? And that's a big thing to think about. But you have to be a tremendous leader to be able to spot that in people. Second thing is, when you're able to do that, you don't hire people, like we said, on experience. You grow somebody and you simply give them the opportunity. But then you also understand this is not people are not chia pets. You don't just add water and hire them. Okay, go make me some money. Sounds ludicrous, but it happens in too many stores today. In a great organization like this, you're not going to find that. They'll bring somebody in, they'll train them, they'll grow them, they'll talk about their future, right? What do you want to do next? Where do you want to be? And dealerships and great leaders understand I can't move up until I figure out how to get somebody to move into my position, right? So I think there's so much to it, and there's so many great things to talk about, and especially fixed operations. I am a converted variable operations guy. I was watching the news this morning, this guy that won the primary in Maine, and he said, hey, if you believe politics could change, you ought to believe the people could change. Well, I've changed.
Awesome.
It should be fixed ops first.
All right.
David, I want to piggyback on that. Look at the focus today on fixed ops. So going back a couple of years, right? Where, it wasn't so much the sexiest topic, if you will, but now everybody is talking about fixed. So there's changes in the industry, some fundamental changes. Talk to us about that focus.
Well,
It's all about the hours, bro.
there's a tiny little hit is always about the hours, and thank God your self-esteem is finally coming. Was triggering, like it triggers when you yell. But no, it's tremendous. McKinsey, which is probably undoubtedly the most respected consulting firm in the world, put out a paper this 5 years ago. And they did some significant research. And what they showed, what they were focusing on was franchise, non-franchise, variable, and fixed. And they're looking forward 10, 15, 20 years. And they're looking for two things in particular. What is going to be the contribution to net profit by department? And then what is going to be the growth versus variable and fixed? And what's interesting, we're on a path to where fixed operations is going to continue to grow as far out as you could see. At the very same time, we're seeing contraction in terms of volume in new cars. You may not know this, but that's also happened in pre-owned cars. We're down significantly from 5, 8, 10 years ago. In addition to that, everybody knows margins have become more difficult, right, that are out there. The complexities of the new car department, what you have to do to earn money and to keep a customer become more difficult. Think about this. There's a reason the fix should be the most important thing. Your culture in any dealership starts from the fixed operations department. The majority of your associates are there. The people that are going to touch customers at a frequency of 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 times more than your sales team. Yep, they're back there too. So I think that people are starting to figure out that you've got this department that physically is in the back, oftentimes has been treated like the Wizard of Oz. You can't go back there. Only the wizard can go back there. But we lose 80% of our business to independent service shops. Why? I get to talk to the wizard, right? I get to talk to the owner. I get to talk to the person who's the technician working on my car. I'm talking to him. We have a unique opportunity to take that business back. If you really get behind video, you're allowing your technicians to be able to finally connect. You're allowing the customer to be able to connect to those technicians. And those technicians, I guarantee you, have more trust between them and the customer than quite possibly anybody else out there. And by the way, it's only hard. It's funny. The unimaginable is only unimaginable for people that are continuing to insist on doing things that have failed them month after month. But when you look at stores like this organization and others that create a great culture and that treat the back of the shop like the front of the shop, and they blow down the silos, they don't have a problem finding techs, and they certainly don't have a problem keeping techs. Am I right?
Correct answer. Keeping techs, but keeping riders, keeping salespeople, keeping parts counter people, keeping porters, keeping all those people is so important. Yeah, techs is hard as we develop those technicians. We believe as developing people is the best, as you said. Developing people for the culture that we have today, and they grow up to be great leaders. That's the exciting part. As we like to say when we have our when the new employee orientation, the opportunities at the Niello company are endless. You can start as a porter, as a cashier, and become whatever you want to be, because we have that openness to do that. And we have the opportunities, and we have great leaders to show you that way. That is the power.
By the way, I wish you to think about any other industry in America that could say this, that makes the real contribution to their community, whether they're supporting the schools, the Little League teams, the soccer teams, or whether it's the significant amount of money they're contributing to municipal taxes, that whether it's police, fire departments, schools, mental health, the things people care about every day. Yeah, that's your local car dealer. But in addition to that, You know, there's an old expression we call no money down. We used to have for decades. Oh, you could get a car, no money down. Well, that's something that we need to put into our mindset when it comes to hiring people. You could have no college degree. You could have no high school degree. You don't know how to speak English? No problemo. Okay? Come on in. And if you have a desire to work and you're a good person, you could get an opportunity in an organization like this. Where else can you do that and within a year, 2 years, 3 years be making six figures? Where else? What other industry has minted as many millionaires and billionaires? How many other people do you know? I know people that came here and didn't speak the language and now they own multiple stores. And the only reason that happened, two things. Somebody gave them a shot and they were lucky enough to choose an organization like this that was going to develop and grow them. That's all.
Tully Williams and David Spisak, Sarah and I want to thank you for all you do for the industry, and both of you for your relentless focus on service parts and fixed operations.
And likewise, thank you guys. Nobody else is putting fixed ops in the front of the conversation more than these guys. And that's why, listen, I jumped on a plane to get here. The last thing I have is time, and the last place I want to be is in an airport and away from my family. But they do so much in the industry. When he mentioned it, I didn't even hesitate. I'm here because it's important, and I'm really appreciative of everybody that showed up. It's awesome. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
I'm here, Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine. We're at the Niello Company with Tully Williams and David Spisak, and we're going to be right back.
Thanks, Thanks,